Okay, so we want to talk about some of our DIY.
Yes.
DUI. You don't want
Yourself.
that. We want DIY. Probably a lot of people don't even know that we make a lot of things for the do-it-yourselfer. And this is just one little bit of it. A lot of these components are axle components.
Yes.
Things that you can do to your axle.
Lower controller mounts, coil buckets,
Track bar mounts, things that you can do. That's what this whole shelf area is.
no matter which model you have, anywhere from TJXJ to JK,
Not
still
so much
working
JL.
on JL stuff. Some of that will be coming.
Sometimes it's just as simple as that happens a lot. And
Or
you just
broke
want to
the lower
replace it, or
controller
you
mount.
broke it smashing it on something. Shut this off.
Wayne says hi.
Hi, Wayne. Hi, Wayne.
I didn't know he was up there.
Who was up there?
Wayne was
Wayne.
at Summer Safari.
He was at Summer Safari. I never even saw him.
Oh. Did you do the overlanding part,
Yeah,
Wayne?
with David.
With David? Jason said he never saw David either. The overlanders were on their own special crowd, I guess.
Well, I ran into a group of them, but they must have had two groups.
Okay. Okay. That's what we were supposed to be doing. But we had company. So, frame side, we make mounts. Axle side, we make mounts. Track bars are up there. Well, the box is empty. We're waiting on those to get replaced right now. XJ, we got some
Bumper parts,
inner and outer reinforcement plates, steering box, conversion support
and
plates.
support plates.
As you can see, most of this stuff is 3/16ths, right?
Yes.
I ask. But pretty much, I mean, it's pretty simple. You take this, you put it on your axle. Yeah,
Cut the old
axle.
one off.
Cut the old one off, put this one on. This is a high clearance one, which means your factory one hangs down more like that. Yeah, high
It
clearance.
hangs about yay.
Yeah,
so
high
the new
clearance
high
is gonna
clearance
make it-
mount's going to roll it up and flat with the bottom of the tube.
So you're not going to smash that on the rocks.
Or get hung up
Or
on
get
it.
hung up on it.
Less
You
likely
do have
to.
to have an adjustable
control
arm
to
do that. Otherwise, your factory arm is going to push out that
Yep.
axle forward.
Pushes the front end forward.
Push it forward a little bit, which we make arms for that too, because a lot of guys like to stretch their TJs, XJ, well, not really XJs, but TJs, LJs, stretch them. We have the stretch coil buckets. Are these the stretch ones?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those are
Stretch
stretched.
coil buckets, which actually move the whole bracket is designed to move your coil spring back and your shock mount back, or the axle forward, however you want to word it. However you want to phrase
Easier way
it.
to phrase it would be spring and shock stays in factory location, and you slide the axle forward
There you
underneath
go.
of it.
Yeah, so you can get that stretch on your axle. A lot of people will order them on a truss, because they'll put a truss on the axle because, oh, I'm going to swap out the axle while I'm doing it. I'm going to put in a 44 instead of a 30, or I'm going to put in a 60 instead of 44. I'm going to move everything forward. They'll just order a truss that has all those mounts already welded on. You don't have to try to figure out where everything goes. It's already on the truss. Drop the truss on there, and away you get to go. Weld the lower control arm mounts on.
Put lowers on it.
Yeah, weld the lower control arm mounts on, and boom. Okay, got to do a little more than that, but you know, you got to think about your track bar and all that stuff too. But there again, that can be on the truss right when you order it from us, and you're set up to go to stretch that axle or swap in that axle or whatever you want to do. You can do all that yourself, or you can pay a shop to do that for you. So some other DIY stuff is back behind Tammy. I keep looking back there. There's track bar mounts. There's, you know,
All the truss components.
All the truss components are back there.
I thought there was a truss on the table a
Yeah.
little while ago, but I don't think it's there.
Oh, he might have finished
No,
that
it
up
finished. It's
Yeah.
up front, and I think Dustin got it in a box.
already. So yeah. Are those more coil mounts right there?
For the truss.
Oh yeah.
Those are
yeah.
truss specific.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, all the truss stuff's kept over there because Alex builds all the trusses right there.
Yep.
What else we got for DIY bracketry? I mean, anything that we make could be DIY. You can put on your own fenders, put on your own corners. You can do all that kind of stuff, all your own suspension components. But maybe people don't realize that if they really wanted to, they could order suspension components and build their own arms to the length
That is true.
that they wanted. We basically weld the threaded end on, leave the end a little extra long so you can cut it however you want, and you could weld your own housing on. You know, we've had a lot of people request doing that kind of thing, and it's not on our website, but if you call and talk to Tanner, he can get you all the components if you want to make your own arms to your specification and your suspension that you want to do. That's always a possibility. Of course, we're going to sell you Summit Machine flex joint houses, and you'll have to have all the Summit Machine flex joint parts and tools, put it all together, but all of that is doable for you to do whatever you want to do yourself.
You want to go show them the flex joints?
Yeah, we can do that. I kind of went over this stuff. We'll walk up front. I mean, basically, instead of getting a powder-coated piece like this, which is just the end of a short arm, you'd get this and this welded together, super long, and you would have to cut it to however you want, and you could weld these pieces on yourself. Some guys, when they're doing buggies or they're doing their own custom suspension, they'll build their arms to whatever they want to do. They might think it's cheaper, but it's really not. It's a lot more labor intensive to come up with your own design on a suspension than to just use one that's already been thought out and done and dialed in, you know. So
And we've tested it.
yeah, tried and true. It works. It just works. Jason went to get something. Here he comes.
Oh
Yeah, he's bringing the housings. Yeah.
So what you'd actually get would be all of this.
Yeah.
So that end would already be welded together. That end would be in a piece of tube specific to how long you want it. And you get just a bare housing. You get all the components, but you get a housing that's not attached to anything. That way you can cut to
You'd
whatever.
have to notch it and put it in and weld it yourself.
Yep.
And then
you
of
can
course
decide how long the arm needs to be, or
yeah, this end would be done
yep, that end would be
because
finished.
there's no change in that.
Nope.
You get your length by the long piece, and then you just use whatever appropriate housing balls
Components.
and components that Jolene makes over in Utah, and you're good to go. I can't think of anything else that's. I mean, we got U-bolt eliminators. People don't know about whether they use them for mostly for XJs because they have a leaf spring in the back.
Or Tacoma.
Yeah. Or a YJ. No, they hang down below the axle usually.
Yeah, YJs are sprung on.
But some people who've wanted to go spring over have used the
Poor man's lift.
U-bolt eliminator and put their spring up top and given their YJ a lift that way.
Add about 4 inches of lift to the YJ just by moving the spring on top of the axle tube.
Right. In the rear, anyways. In the
Both.
front. Oh yeah.
Because
That's
they're
right.
both sprung on
in the front. That's right.
That's why I named it the poor man's lift.
Yeah.
'Cause
And we have various sizes
don't
of
have
those.
to change the spring or anything. Take it from below the axle, put it on top of the axle, and you gain 4 inches of lift height.
Well, and that's if you wanted more. I guess you could do the 1 inch, the 2 inch U-bolt eliminator. And you get 5-6 inches, but that'd be a little excessive. I'd feel a little bit tipsy. You got anything else that you can think of that we make for DIYs?
Not for this week. I mean, there's a few more brackets, but this month supposedly the DUI month, so we'll bring them in.
DIY month?
We'll
Not
bring
DUI.
that.
I always want to
I
say
did the same thing
DIY.
too.
It's DIY.
DIY? Yeah,
Do it yourself.
yeah,
DIY.
yeah, not DUI.
We'll bring
I know
some more of
Tan-
them brackets in.
Tanner knows some of them secret sauce brackets that he's put on his own Jeep, and you know the secret sauce brackets.
Of course I do,
I
because
don't.
I designed them.
Yeah, I don't know them at all. So, yeah, it is what it is. But when in doubt, if you don't see it on our website, just call. Tanner might be able to say, "Hey, we got that. I can send you one," because not all these brackets are on our website.
Can't get there from here with this, but if you do this, then you can get there.
Yeah, yeah, and they know it.
Uh-huh.
Between Tanner and you and Bob, you guys know it. They can know what you can do. So I don't have anything else. Last week's TNT Tuesday was TNT Thursday, and that kind of turned into craziness because Tanner ended up on an emergency trip to rescue a Jeep off of the hill in Windrock. Jason went to northern Wyoming this last weekend and did some wheeling up there with what are they called?
The Bighorn.
The Bighorns. Yep, up in the Bighorns, and some of you were there.
Big mountain crawlers.
To Facebook for pictures and videos.
Yep.
Jason.
Yeah, I got quite
yeah.
a bit of videos.
Jason,
and whatnot.
Tanner, they're sharing all their content with Tammy. She'll be posting stuff up on Facebook in the next few days. The next event, Tanner's in and out a lot. I know he's going to Smoky Mountain. Is that the next one? Or is there one before that? I don't remember.
Smoky Mountain should be the next one, then it should be Trail Hero.
Before you know it, it's August today, so blink and it'll be September. School will be starting, and there'll be more fall trips going on. I know between now and October, Tanner's out a lot. We only do a little bit here and there around here, and all of a sudden it'll be 24 before we know it. So, but I don't have anything else. If you don't have anything else, we're going to sign off for this week, and we will chat with you guys next Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in.